Imagine a metal so light it floats on water. A metal so energetic it can power a car for hundreds of kilometers without a single drop of gasoline. A metal that is quietly becoming more valuable than oil. That metal is lithium. And the world is going crazy for it. You have seen lithium every day without knowing it. Every time you charge your phone, your laptop, your electric toothbrush, or your tablet, that is lithium. Every time you see a Tesla, a Nissan Leaf, or any electric car zoom past silently, that is lithium. Every time a solar farm stores energy for the night, or a wind turbine keeps spinning when the wind stops, that is lithium. It is the hidden heart of the green revolution. But here is the secret that almost nobody knows. Most of the world's lithium does not come from a giant mine with tunnels and explosions. It comes from a strange, beautiful, and impossibly flat place. A place of blinding white salt deserts, pink flamingos, and turquoise lakes. That place is the high-altitude salt flats of South America. Specifically, a region called the Lithium Triangle. The Lithium Triangle stretches across 3 countries, Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. It sits high in the Andes Mountains, 3,000 to 4,000 meters above sea level. That is higher than most clouds. The air is thin. The sun is brutal. And beneath the crust of white salt lies a treasure, billions of tons of lithium dissolved in ancient underground brine. Here is how it works. Millions of years ago, this whole area was a giant prehistoric ocean. Then the mountains rose up, trapping the water. The water evaporated under the intense sun, leaving behind salt and a super-concentrated liquid full of minerals. That liquid is the brine. And that brine is full of lithium. To get the lithium, workers drill wells and pump the brine into giant evaporation ponds. The ponds stretch for kilometers, looking like a patchwork quilt of turquoise and emerald. Over 12 to 18 months, the sun slowly evaporates the water. What remains is a paste rich in lithium. That paste gets shipped to a refinery, turned into lithium metal or lithium carbonate, and then sent to factories in China, Korea, Japan, Europe, and America. There, it becomes the batteries that power your world. Now, why is this called a gold rush? Because the world is switching from gasoline cars to electric cars. Fast. Most countries have said they will stop selling new gas cars by 2035 or sooner. That means the demand for lithium is exploding. In 2020, the world used about 400,000 tons of lithium. By 2030, we will need over 2 million tons. That is 5 times more. And the Lithium Triangle holds more than half of the world's known lithium reserves. Bolivia alone has the largest single deposit on Earth, called the Uni-Salt Flat. It is so big you can see it from space. Chile and Argentina are not far behind. That is why people say South America is the new Middle East. For the last 50 years, the world ran on oil from the Middle East. For the next 50 years, the world will run on lithium from South America. Same story, different resource. But here is where the story gets complicated. A gold rush sounds exciting. But for the people who live in the Lithium Triangle, it is a mixed blessing. Take Bolivia's Uni-Salt Flat. The people who live there are mostly indigenous Quechua and Aymara communities. They have lived on the salt flats for centuries, herding llamas, harvesting salt by hand, and living a quiet, hard life. Now, suddenly, the world is knocking on their door. Mining companies from China, Russia, the United States, and Europe want to dig up their land. The Bolivian government says, this lithium belongs to the people. We will control it ourselves. They built a small pilot plant, but they lack the money and technology to scale up. Meanwhile, in Chile and Argentina, foreign companies have moved in much faster. Chile is the world's second largest lithium producer, after Australia. Argentina is rising quickly. But there is a problem. Pumping brine out of the ground uses enormous amounts of water. The Lithium Triangle is one of the driest places on Earth. Some areas get less rain than the Sahara Desert. The water that is pumped up is gone forever. Local farmers and herders need that water for their animals and their tiny patches of crops. When the lithium companies take the water, the land dries up. Flamingos that depend on shallow lakes lose their habitat. Llamas die of thirst. Communities have to walk hours longer to find clean water. There is a famous story from Chile's Atacama salt flat. For years, a lithium company pumped so much brine that the nearby village of Tocaneo saw its water levels drop dramatically. The villagers protested. They blocked roads. Eventually, the government stepped in and forced the company to reduce pumping. But the damage was done. The ground had sunk. The water table had fallen. And the villagers realized that lithium was not a gift. It was a deal with the devil. This is the same story that happened with oil in the Middle East. When oil was discovered, foreign companies rushed in, took the wealth, and left behind pollution and poverty. Eventually, Middle Eastern countries fought back, took control of their oil, and built enormous wealth. But even then, ordinary people did not always benefit. The same thing could happen in South America. Now, there is another twist. Lithium is not the only battery metal. Scientists are racing to find alternatives. Sodium batteries, solid-state batteries, even saltwater batteries. If they succeed, the lithium rush could slow down. But right now, no alternative is ready. For at least the next 10 to 15 years, the world needs lithium. And South America has it. So what does this mean for you? Every time you charge your phone or drive an electric car, you are connected to those blinding white salt flats. Your battery was once a drop of ancient brine, pumped from 2 meters underground, evaporated under a brutal sun, refined in a factory, and shipped across an ocean. You are holding a piece of the Andes in your hand. And the people of the Lithium Triangle? They are watching. Some see a future of schools, hospitals, and roads paid for by lithium. Others see their water disappearing and their land turning to dust. The choice is not simple. The world wants clean energy. But clean energy should not come from dirty deals. The next time you see an electric car or plug in your phone, remember the salt flats. Remember the flamingos and the llamas and the people who live 3 miles above the sea. And remember that the gold rush is not over. It is just beginning. South America is the new Middle East. But whether that brings riches or ruin depends on what all of us do next. Thank you for listening. If you want to understand the hidden world inside your devices, subscribe and join us for the next story.